So we're leaving Moon Point at Fraser Island. It's been a exceptionally calm night. We're taking those as one-ups because we know the next one might be a little bit tough. We had a good sleep last night. We got our captain leading us through all the sandbars, doing a marvelous job. We've had to abandon one of our flotilla boats due to an issue with their windlass, but they reckon they'll be alright, so we're gonna keep on moving slowly forward because we need to try and work with the tides today.
And they're a lot faster than us, so as long as they can get moving, they will beat us down there.
Yeah, so we've been advised to get moving.
We're about half an hour later than what we kind of wanted to do, so we might get, I don't know, an hour or so of slack tide where it's sort of vaguely going against us.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to get the tide in, and then we get to the change point and we should get the tide out again, which would be really nice. The advantage going into behind an island, it's so close to the coast. High tides, it rushes to the centre, and low tides, it rushes out each entrance. And I've just got the radio going.
Some careful calculations and planning need to go into a crossing like this. Tidal heights and flow can be predicted very accurately mathematically depending on the phase of the moon and sun and the gravitational pull on the ocean. In this area it takes 6 hours to reach high tide from low tide. We also know that when travelling behind a large island like Fraser Island, as the tide is rising, water floods in from each end to a midpoint, and as it falls, it floods back out the same way it came in. Navigational charts in this area are pretty accurate too, so we have a good idea of the depth. We know there is a very shallow spot which happens to be at the midpoint. Bilindra has 1.8 meters of hull below the water. If we don't reach the midpoint at high tide or near to, we will likely run aground. If we've done our maths properly, the current will switch direction as the tide lowers and push us for another 6 hours.
Is our dream time over?
Okay, Rob, we're underway, all sorted. Thank you so much for waiting. Okay, cheers.
Roger that, good to hear. There's a heck of a current running against us. We're just taking our time going out. We'll do a turn and see where the wind is, over.
Roger that. Okay, we're standing by.
Yeah, our dream time at this stage is planning to go jib and jigger, but we'll see what happens when we're in the wind, over.
What is jib and jigger?
I think it's wing and wing.
Jib and jigger seems to be some fancy terminology between ketch owners, where only the head sail and mizzen sail are deployed. The deployment of the mizzen sail instead of the mainsail helps to ease the steering apparently, as it's located almost exactly above the rudder.
Oh yeah! Liam, come up! Liam, put it on Ollie, come up! No, they're gone. Yeah. We've only got about 3 knots of wind going, but we put the main out with the preventer sort of pulling it across to try and buoy it out a little bit more. But to be honest, we're pretty much going with the current. We do have the motor on as well, just to give us an extra knot or so. But yeah, it's blowing pretty fast around here at the moment. And there we've got, right into the sun unfortunately, another plane going past. Water chopper, or water plane. Helicopter there. that's the fires that they're fighting. Pretty sad. Dreamtime has their spinnaker up. Putting us all to shame. Flying the pretty colours. So I'm not entirely sure that this GoPro will be able to pick that up.
I think we were both hoping for just a little bit more protection here at Garrys Anchorage. The winds sort of picked up to gusting 25 knots. There are whitecaps in the anchorage. It's not very swelly. We're getting a bit of wind over tide, which is bringing the waves in.
Sorry?
And we were going to go ashore, but I'd rather just stay at the boat actually.
It's a little bit windy.
Yeah. Guess flying the drones out of the question. Might be a bit windy. Our drones might end up in the bloody mangroves just over there. Might save it for another day. Got some footage 2 or 3 years ago of this place and it was bloody marvellous. So we made it across earlier this afternoon, having fun with tides and wind and changing sails every 5 minutes because the river snakes around. So there's a lot of tacking and jibing and stuff. And we got probably our maximum boat speed today, 8.3 knots. That's a first for us. We did have a bit of assistance from the motor. Well, the wind started off being really fickle. We got through parts in the channel where the wind was funneling in. But we needed to get to the middle of the river by a certain time, so we had to keep a constant speed. So we could have sailed it, but probably would have had to anchor on the other side so that it got the tides right. Because it's not fun pushing the tide. Coming into the anchorage here, we were going against the tide and we were doing 2 knots with the engine flat stick. So yeah, it's something you really got to get right here, or you might as well just throw the pick out and try again when the tide's changed. Looks fairly peaceful in here. The wind has been cranking up a little bit, but there's no swell, so I think we'll be in for a good night. We'll have wind against tide at about 7 p.m. tonight, and that'll probably be an interesting situation because the boat will probably just be in the same orientation it is now, except the anchor will be behind us. See what happens. Hope we don't drag. Fingers crossed. So there's been a bit of a break in the wind here at Garrys Anchorage, and we've gone ashore and go for a bit of a walk down the track.
At 6:30 in the morning.
6:30 in the morning.
Out, so we're heading back now at 7:30. So we had an hour walk before breakfast, really.
Yeah, and but the wind is forecast to start picking up again, and we can already see that. So back to the boat and both shores. Yes. So yeah, it's a good little spot. It's not on fire here, which is fortunate, but I think by the time we come back here, it might be a different story. So
hopefully the rains will come and it'll be all green and lush. So it's pretty green now actually. I don't know, it probably doesn't look like it in the shop, but there's lots of leaves and grass around.
yeah, there's also a lot of shit that can go up in smoke.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, if it catches, it's not going to be pleasant.
And I think if the dry stuff catches, the green stuff will burn anyway. It gets that hot. Anyway, back to the boat before we get blown over. I wonder what the sign next to the crocodile sign said. It's not there anymore. It probably said there are no crocodiles here, and then the sign we can see said there are crocodiles here, so no one really knows. But millions of little soldier crabs everywhere here. Absolutely millions of them.
Hello. I'm currently making fish tacos. Well, I don't have enough light. Hang on.
There's plenty of light.
Plenty of light?
Yeah.
No, there's more light.
Yeah. Now you look like Casper.
Okay. Fresh caught mackerel yesterday. No, day before yesterday. Avocado, lettuce, fresh lettuce as well. Look at that crunch. We don't get lettuce very often on this boat because it tends to go off, but I'm trying one of Karen's tricks and using paper towels to try and keep it fresh. Not sure that it's working, but it is fresher than it has been historically, so there is that. And a little bit of cheese on top, which is not really the fit of me. I've overstuffed these tacos.
Good. Need some special cheese, but tastes good. The weather's calmed down a little, so we're gonna go and chuck out the crab pot, leave it overnight, and see. Hopefully we can get a big crab tomorrow. Mackerel head. A few days old.
Don't do it over your pants. That's a very bad idea. Do it over the water. There's juice in there.
Oh,
Aww.
fish bait.
So what does that bag do?
Just holds the bait. Stop them from stealing the whole bloody lot. Or little fish coming and taking it away or something, I don't know. Something like that. Oh, better get that ball out. Okay, get out of here. Go.
Now, Liam?
Attacked by sandflies. It's so fucking itchy. Right.
And that's what your arm looks like after 2 seconds in sandfly country. Just not quite as good as they are in reality. So we've come to get our crab, but unfortunately it's low tide, or flowing, okay? And so it's a bit too shallow to paddle even. So we're walking it in, and as we've walked in, we saw a couple massive big crabs just wandering around on the sand. So fingers crossed. Liam's just going to try and pick it up with a bucket. I had a go myself, but it did not work very well for me.
Big bloody crab there. That's what we're trying to get in our net.
Okay, we're approaching the crab pot now. Not looking promising, it's out of the water. Nothing at all, and all the bait is still there. But on the other hand,
It's only got one claw.
I think it might be too small as well.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
A bit soft around here.
Oh, just down. Yeah. Unfortunately, this one is a female, so we can't keep her. Very sad, because she's the right size.
Taking a hold of the handle though.
Yep.
Alright.
That was not great. What you doing, Liam?
We had a big rain event the other night, and we found all the leaks in the boat. And so we are going to pull this window out. There's just leaks all over the electronics here, so we're going to pull the window out and stick some gunk in there and seal it all out. That's the plan anyway. We don't have any rain forecast today, so might be a good day to do it. We only need a couple hours for this stuff to set. But yeah. Alison's scrubbing the waterline.
Yeah. And the rest of it.
And the rest of it. Current is just hooking through here. So fast that little, well, the propeller on the outboard is just spinning. Probably can't see it, but sealed up window. And all we need is a couple hours for it to dry, and then some rain, so we can see if it leaks. Trying to find Lake Garry, but there's no paths or tracks to show where it is. We've got an app on the phone called Maps.me, but it's not very clear, so we just kind of have a bit of a walk and see if we can find it.
The Bureau has issued a strong wind warning for Saturday for Harvey Bay. Winds southeasterly 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 20 to 25 knots during the morning and reaching up to 30 knots at times in the afternoon and evening. Seas 1 to 1.5 metres, increasing to 1.5 to 2.5 metres during the morning. Swell northeasterly around 1 metre in the northern bay. Weather cloudy with a 70% chance of showers and a chance of a thunderstorm.
The Bureau was pretty spot on with the weather forecast. An intermittent problem with the GoPro meant that this clip and the next few that followed recorded without sound, but if I had to take a guess at what I was saying, it would be it's raining hard. The dinghy fills up with water quickly and regular bailouts are required to avoid it sinking, sometimes in the middle of the night. We picked up a ground sheet from the hardware store in an effort to divert some of this water into the water tanks. The trouble with this temporary fixture is that when the wind catches it, it flaps around like an angry elephant's ear.
I think he's okay. I think he's just... Oh. He does a little bit sad.
Exhausted. So had a big night fishing. So we've been sitting at Garrys Anchorage now for a little over a week. Waiting for the perfect conditions to cross the bar. And those conditions are definitely not occurring today. The weather forecast shows that we have a lot of rain and a lot of wind coming our way. And the waves out of the anchorage are meant to be up to 6 meters, I think they were saying. So yeah, we definitely have no interest in being anywhere near that rubbish. So we're just gonna sit out here for a little while longer. And it's not an awful place to be, actually. The holding is really good. The anchorage is not so swelly. A little bit of swell coming in now, but it's definitely manageable. Bad weathers can be coming in around lunchtime today, so a lot of wind, gale force winds in fact predicted, so should be fun. But we're quite happy with where we are. Been here for a week, haven't moved at all. Anchor hasn't dragged, so what are you making?
I'm making a fitted sheet for all the V-berths.
And are you doing a good job?
I'm not sure. I did a good job on the other ones, but the triangle thing may make this not work.
I was pretty sure before we left Mackay that we were going to run out of power in the middle of our adventure, or shortly after we left, because we only have a 260 amp hour battery, which is okay, but when you start throwing in computers and fridges and things, it's starting to get a bit small. It's also an AGM battery, so that means we can only use about half of that 260 amps anyway if we want that battery to last at all. So talking to a couple of friends and hearing their experiences about buying cheap and nasty generators, we steered away from that because a few of them have ended up as paperweights. So I had my eye on a Honda generator for a while, and just before we left, I went to the Honda dealership in Mackay and tried to buy one, and they said they wouldn't have one in stock for another couple of months. So we left without a generator, and we ran into some power problems. Next stop was going to be Bowen, so I tried to call ahead and find out if the Honda dealership in Bowen had a generator. They too had the same issue, no generators for the next couple of months. So the stop after that was Townsville, so we rang up Townsville and they had one in stock. So I got hold of my friends in Townsville and asked them if they could go down and pick one up for us. And so yeah, we transferred the money and they went down and picked one up for us, and we eventually made it down Townsville and picked the generator up. So that's the story of the generator. Very long-winded, but it helps a lot, especially on days like this. So the generator hasn't had a whole lot of use in the last 8 months that we've been out here, because the solar's been keeping up, and we have the fold-out solar panel as well, so that's been keeping everything flush. You really don't want to come around the wrong side of that marker, because on that side it is very shallow, and you'll definitely go around that side. I think we'll even go aground if you come too close to this side. Yeah. What do you have to say?
I agree with everything that Liam has ever said.
Yeah, I've trained her well. Gotta choose your footsteps very carefully.
Yeah. Ta-da!
This video is for the benefit of Wobbly of SV². And he told us the bridge down here was very structurally sound.
It is possible he was talking about a different bridge. Significantly possible. In fact, almost guaranteed.
Well, that's not the story we're going to be telling him. What just happened?
There's a snake just there. It's a red-bellied black snake. And Liam's footprint is maybe 10 centimetres away from it.
It scared the shit out of me, that thing. I don't know if I want to walk back and film it. Its tongue is slithering.
Yeah, it's tasting.
Tasting what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, just stop there. He's getting a bit tense.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you relocate it?
I could, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, there's my footprint. And there is another one. And you can see how I was jumping around like a bloody clown a minute ago. It scared the shit out of me, that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a decent size. What's happening, Liam?
Oh, we decided to stop for some food. Apparently we stopped at a good time because it started raining as well, so we actually brought the umbrella this time.
But there's only room for one underneath it.
Are you getting wet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's for lunch?
Maggi noodles.
Yeah.
Or for our South African listeners, Maggi noodles.
Yeah. A bit rainy.
It is a bit. That was not an elegant thing to film.
Bit of rain since we've been gone. And tide's gone out a bit.
What's happened, Liam?
We just lost our whole beer supply. We had it sitting in the bilge and they've all developed these pinholes and all the beer's gone.
But it's not gone. It's in the bilge.
It's in the bilge.
Stinks to high heaven.
And I was wondering yesterday why the bilge smells so bad. And it's beer. So beer stinks. Actually, undrunk.
Yeah. No, it
And
smells
actually
like
it doesn't
shit.
smell like a brewery. It smells like raw sewage. This is one of them, and you can feel it's half full. This one here still got the cap on it, and it's all leaked out.
But look at that scunge on it as well.
So I don't think we'll be putting it there in the future. We'll be putting it somewhere different.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, maybe it's the 4X gold cans that are shit. The Great Northerns.
No
so
problems
good.
at all. And none of the ciders went?
None of the ciders went. So I think it's the 4X gold out of the story, because it's like $4 cheaper per carton. So fuck it. Yeah. Well, I bet you there'll be no fizz here. Oh, there is a bit
Look
of
at the fizz.
Well, that one's probably drinkable, but going over anyway.
Oh no, it's not. There's lumps in that.
Here's a full beer. Just open it. That's the whole beer gone.
Bad.
It stinks. Oh, that's all fizzy. Oh, get out of there. Oh, it's gone all fizzy. That one's full. Just opened it. That's it. All done full.
34 today?
Come around there.
She's your wife.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alison. Happy birthday to you. Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
They won't let it out for COVID reasons, you know.
COVID reasons, but you can cut it. And Kristen's going to stand right next to you so he gets the first kiss.
Yay!
Yay! All right, let's eat.
Very much. It's all good.
Steady on.
Oh, thank you very much.
So what is this cake?
It is a lime cheesecake
That is it in the cookbook.
with ginger nut crust.
Is it in the cookbook? What?
Saved by the bell. Well done, that man.
Actually, Mark's fries aren't bothering me as much as these damn midgies.
And that's the one.
You like your cake?
I do. I really, really do.
Oh, no, no.
It's very yum.
Okay, you're up.
Next time we head over to Inskip Point and find a near perfect window to cross the White Bay Bar.